Kylie. Most people usually call these unhauls. Don't care. Have never cared. Will never care. Also, that doesn't make sense to me because in almost like any other niche of the internet, like if someone is getting rid of makeup in their collection, they call it an anti-haul. I don't care about your unhauls. That sounds dumber to me. So anyway, today is an anti-haul. We have a physical media anti-haul and it's a really good one. If you're really into physical media, that's what I talk about here. Welcome, welcome. If you want to join our physical media cult, then you have to click the subscribe button. One like equals one new loving home for every DVD at Goodwill. I don't know. Click the notification bell and then that way you never miss the next video. But I also post like travel content here. Sometimes I talk about non-horror movies because I also have my main channel Haunted Hippie where I talk about horror movies and also where I produce horror movies. I do quite a lot, but you don't have to worry about all that right now. Right now, let's talk about the movies that I'm getting rid of. That will be listed on my Poshmark. That is always linked down below. And also, I always want to send this stuff off with haste. I want to get it to a new loving home pronto. But now I want it done even faster because there is a 2-bedroom opening up in the complex that my partner and I want to live in, and that's next month. So fingers crossed. I'm gonna be moving in a month, so I need to get rid of some inventory. I'll start with the DVDs. We're going from worst to best, and even in my worst, one of these is a Criterion Collection DVD. Is it a DVD? I don't know. It is a DVD. I guess I didn't realize Criterion did DVDs, but this is Jigoku, and this is a movie that it's worth owning. I just have no space and I don't realistically see myself watching this again. But about half the movie is just like a slice of life situation following a big group of people. It's quite an ensemble. And then the latter half, all these people go to hell. And it's a really interesting artistic take on a depiction of hell. Very cool movie, but unfortunately also a little bit boring. So you can be the lucky owner. This DVD is in really good shape. Oh, it has a lot of special features too. Building the Inferno, a new documentary on director Nobuo Nakagawa and the making of the film, featuring exclusive interviews with the actor, screenwriter, blah, blah, blah. Plus a new essay by noted Asian cinema critic Chuck Stevens. Fun, fun, fun for the whole, actually not for the whole family, probably not, but Criterion always does it the best, don't they? Next up, we have a Clippy DVD of Contact. No, I don't call it an unhaul, and no, I don't call it a snapper case. When you say snapper case, it makes me think of snapping turtles. I don't want to think about that. Clippy DVD is fun. It's very cute. It's very demure. This is Robert Zemeckis cult classic. Can I say that? I don't know. It was nominated for some awards. People love Zemeckis. Obviously, people love McConaughey. They love Jodie Foster, myself included. This just is not a movie that I see myself reaching for again. I gave it a little bit more of an in-depth review in my February recap on the Haunted Hippie channel if you want more of my thoughts on the actual movie itself. This was a Goodwill find back in the day, and I am glad that I finally watched it, to be fair. This next one, was this sent to me, or was this also, this might have been like a Salvation Army pickup. I can't remember, but it's I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer. This one actually is probably the only movie I'm going to talk about today that I'm not 100% sure I'm gonna get rid of. I am a franchise completionist, okay? That is a theme you'll notice in my Letterboxd review. I also just talked about this one. I was like, sometimes it's okay not to complete the franchise, but when it comes to owning it, and if I ever did a rewatch of the first two, I feel like I would feel very inclined to also rewatch the third one. But that was the whole reason why I made that my Letterboxd review, is so that if future Kylie wants to watch it, then past Kylie has been kind enough to warn her not to waste her time. So I don't know, I'm kind of torn. It's not looking good for me. It's kind of looking like I'm gonna want to keep this, and I just don't need to. Especially because it's also a DVD and I could upgrade, you know? If I really want to own this movie, then I might as well get a better quality version of it. Is this even on Blu-ray? Did anybody ask for that? It is on Blu-ray, so you can get it at Walmart, on eBay. I don't need to keep the DVD. It's okay. Is it nostalgic because this was a straight-to-DVD release? Yeah, a bit, but that's why I have other Blockbuster DVDs. So, away. Guys, I have 3 different Arrow Video editions that I'm getting rid of, and I'm getting rid of a steelbook. I'm getting rid of a big pack. Oh my goodness. This Andy haul, I'm telling you, it's one of the best. I only have 2 more movies that I'm getting rid of because I just wouldn't reach for them again, so let's go through those, and we'll get into the really good stuff. Well, okay, I guess that's not true because the Arrow Video movies, they're also movies I would not reach for again, but it's Arrow Video, so one man's trash. Someone is bound to give these movies a better home than me. Anyway, first up we have Mr. Brooks. I did not complete this film. The ratings of this movie are all over the goddamn map. The world can't seem to make up its mind on Mr. Brooks. The reviews are also quite dichotomous. It seems to either be a love or hate. For me personally, couldn't even finish. But then I think that Cody Leach gave this movie like 4.5 stars. So definitely worth trying out because who knows genuinely which end of the spectrum you'll end up on. I thought this movie was really boring. I thought Demi Moore played the worst investigative cop I've ever seen. Dane Cook is in it, which is also, it's just kind of like, I don't know, just wasn't for me, but probably worth picking up. This one I think was a horror pack movie back in the day. I do not miss receiving those packages. But next up, this also is from Horror Pack. It's the last one from Horror Pack. This is the best of the Nightmares Film Festival. I actually have submitted my shorts to that festival before. We've never made it, but then after watching a couple of these that literally were like SAG, like union productions, I was like, oh yeah, that's probably why. That's probably why I didn't know a guy. I absolutely adored a couple of the shorts in here, but majority of them wasn't super into. The ones that I really liked, I logged on Letterboxd. I wish that they had the actual names of all 9 of them on the back here, but they don't. That's kind of silly. Nightmares, next time that you produce these, I would do that. They're worth checking out. Short horror films, I need to watch more of them. And this is a really cool thing. I wish more festivals did this because I would definitely buy these. What should I show you next? I have a couple movies that are doubles, so let's go through those first. Actually, a lot of these are doubles, so I'm gonna go over the regular Blu-rays that are doubles first, then we'll get into the 4Ks and the Steelbook. Oh! First up, I had 2 different subscribers send me this exact copy of The Invitation recently. No, not the Karan Kusama cult classic, but this is the fun movie that came out, I think in 2022. Underloved. I really appreciated this movie, and this has both the unrated and the theatrical versions in it. It's an all-new unrated cut, plus deleted and extended scenes, including an alternate ending, outtakes and bloopers, behind-the-scenes featurettes. This is a really good Blu-ray. Next up, we've got The Descent, the original unrated cut, which if you don't know, the original UK ending is better than the US ending. They both kind of suck just as endings. I'm not a huge fan of either of them, but I would say that I do prefer the unrated cut. This is definitely worth owning, especially if you live in the United States, because on streaming and like to rent and everything, it's impossible to find the unrated cut. That's why physical media till I die. Not to get like weirdly intense about it, but that is how I feel. Then up next, we have actually 3 movies from the Evil Dead franchise. First up, we have my classic, my first piece of physical media having to do with the Evil Dead collection that I ever owned, and it is a double feature of the first and second Evil Dead. Actually, wait, did I? I have another like collector's edition DVD of the original movie. Maybe I had that first. And this one, amazingly, also managed to squeeze in some special features. There are archival featurettes, behind-the-scenes footage, cast and crew commentary, trailers, galleries, and more. I'm getting rid of this and this next piece because I recently was set an entire like steelbook collection of Evil Dead. So gorgeous. Check my last my subscriber mail unboxing if you want to see that. But that means that I no longer need this gorgeous 4K of Evil Dead Rise. It is opened because I have rewatched it. This is my favorite movie of the Evil Dead franchise. Sorry to any of the real classic fans, but I love Evil Dead Rise so much. The only drawback to this is that I don't think there are any special features. I don't think that that is that weird because this very much was a pandemic era production, so they probably were trying to cut back on as many people on the set as possible, and that probably includes a BTS team. So unfortunate though. There's gotta be some kind of making of somewhere. But the extent that I've seen is just Lee Cronin on Twitter having that one giant thread of a bunch of BTS videos and pictures and stuff. Will we ever get it on physical media? I don't know. I haven't checked the steelbook that I was sent. Maybe there's something on there. I don't know. You know, maybe I'll save the other doubles because they're some of my favorite pieces today. And I'll go through all the era video movies. First up, we have this very confusing set of The Woman and what else is in here? Offspring. For some reason though, disc 1 is The Woman and disc 2 is Offspring, even though Offspring came before The Woman and The Woman technically is a sequel to Offspring. But you wouldn't even know that there's a second movie in here just based on the front cover. But there are indeed 2. Let me open her up. Oh, when you slide it out, look, this is Offspring. Whoa! But look, yeah, so the covers don't even match up when you slide it out. I was very confused about that. So you've got Offspring in here, that's technically disc 2, and then you also have the woman. And I couldn't finish Offspring. I could tell the subject matter just really was not for me. I knew for a fact it was something I would never reach for again, and I didn't feel compelled to finish it. That so rarely happens these days because, number one, I am not sent horror pack boxes anymore, and I guess that's really the only reason, because I have almost none of the horror pack exclusives left in my collection. I'm sorry to be so shady, but it's just like, that product kind of fucking sucks. Not worth it's like 25 bucks a month or something. That's that. I finished these other two movies. First up, we have Hideo Nakata's Dark Water. This might seem kind of sacrilegious, but I am diving much more deeply into J-horror. I am catching up on some true classics within that subgenre. This is from the same director as Ring-You, which inspired The Ring, one of my favorites, and I found the story to be so similar, and same with like all the aesthetics, the vibes. So I'm like, what really is the point of this movie? I thought that it felt like the same movie, just in a much more boring package. So I think that somebody else deserves to own this, not me. I don't deserve you, I never did. Last up from Arrow Video, this gorgeous sleeved edition of Hagazusa. This is a German film, I think, and it's basically The Witch. Like, I was trying to think of another comparable movie. I was gonna be like, The Witch meets shrooms. But the psychedelic elements of this movie are not even that heavy, so like I don't want to say that. Once again, I'm gonna use the term boring. It feels like a more boring version of The Witch. Like, we have The Witch at home, honey. Put that down. If I want to watch something of this very specific, like very niche period piece kind of witchy vibe, I'm gonna take Robert Eggers' The Witch over this every single day of the week. So I don't need this. I don't think I'll be watching it again. You might think that one can never have too many sort of woodsy, witchy films, and that's true, but there are also other movies that I would pick up besides this one that fall under that umbrella. There's Hellbender, which is just amazing. I would even say that In the Earth kind of qualifies, but I don't think that's about witchcraft at all. The point is, this is just like last in line from those kind of movies that I would choose to watch again. So those are all of the Arrow Video movies. How about I save the Steelbook for last? And next up, we have this pack of the Universal Classic monster movies, the Essential Collection. This comes with Dracula, Frankenstein, The Mummy, The Invisible Man, The Bride of Frankenstein, The Wolfman, The Phantom of the Opera, and Creature from the Black Lagoon. I don't know when this came out. This also is Region B, I think. Right? Is Region B like the UK, Europe? But it's like this fun sort of lunchbox moment almost. And then comes with a little information booklet, but this is a fun little box. That's what you know what? Oh, it is cracked a little bit. I think that it was cracked when I opened it. Somebody sent me this in the mail. And I recently have been sent so many steelbooks of the original classic monster films. There's these like gorgeous black and white Blu-rays from patron John Larberg. Thank you. Shout out John. So I really just don't need this anymore. I think also the inside, it might be a little bit broken. Yes, it would appear that way. I don't know. Maybe you can get it back on its little, do you know what I'm talking about? I don't know what this is called, but I feel like you could reattach it. I don't know. It's a cool box set. You probably don't even need the slip cover. It's seen better days. I just tend to always keep the sleeve. I like a sleeved look. And then in here, you got a ton of info and a lot of like the original posters and stuff. It's really cool. I just can't be hoarding all this good stuff when I have doubles. I'll save the steelbook for last, but up next is a 4K of Terrifier 2. Yeah, and it's really, really pretty artwork. Once again, this one was sent to me, and so the edges are, you know, they've seen slightly better days, but nothing too major, and then it's different artwork on the inside cover. This is, I think, the more popular poster they use for marketing. I love this one with Sienna, though. Not only is this a 4K, but you get behind the scenes of Terrifier 2, you get the extended Boo crew interview, the director's commentary, and then also fan art. Very slay, no pun intended. Now, finally, the last item in today's anti-haul is a steelbook of Shaun of the Dead. Oh, its plastic slipcover was upside down. My bad. I don't know if you would want to keep this on here, but the plastic slipcover does have some decor on it. It's a really pretty steelbook, but there you can see the slipcover kind of removes some of the words when you take it off. Maybe you like it better that way. I don't know. What is your preference? This is so pretty. I just already own Shaun of the Dead on Steelbook, if you can believe that. So someone else definitely deserves to have this. And once again, if any of this has caught your eye, my Poshmark is always linked in the description of my videos. And I will give you a big discount if you bundle things. That just means that you add multiple items into a bundle and just give it like a day. Give me like a day to see that. Because if I see that you've bundled things, I'll usually knock maybe like 10 bucks off, depending on how much you put in there. Because I want to at least try to give you free shipping and take a couple bucks off. The main goal is just to make sure that this stuff gets into more loving homes. So definitely check it out. I also have like some books in my inventory, some Stephen King, and plenty of other DVDs and Blu-rays that I have mentioned in anti-hauls before. And last thing, like I said, I am hopefully moving soon. Fingers are crossed. So I want to get rid of this stuff, and quickly. That'll do it from me today. I do highly recommend that you check out my Haunted Hippie channel, especially if you're a fan of horror. Check out my Patreon. You get a bonus video there every single week, depending on which tier you join. But more than anything, I just hope that you enjoyed this video and that I catch you in the next one. Bye!